All right, so I'm going to do a screen share with you guys on who are on your computer. So you will be able to see. Can you guys see that? All right, so, except I am on the wrong slide. I should start on the first slide. All right, so for you guys and I want to do this for those who are not coaches, but this is welcome to our Team Force call. We are Thursday nights always getting together, and as you heard, we're chit-chatting, we're getting to know each other, and like I said, I had this idea, and I was like, no, you know, our team calls, they're kind of special, I look forward to them, you know, you guys are my family, and then when I was on my run, it was like, you need to share with other people what you're doing, and I'm like, no, not the team call, and it just was this struggle of like, I don't know, is it weird, I don't know, but it was just like, no, we have something special, and I love you guys, and you guys are family, and not everybody has that. And so I wanted to open it up to people who wanted to know more about what we are doing and to kind of see what it's like to be a coach on a team call. So what FORCE stands for is actually, it's an acronym. And if you've been in one of my challenge groups, you've heard this before. It's focus on real, consistent effort. It's the compound effect. You don't have to do big, huge, life-changing decisions. Just make small decisions every day, and in a year you'll look back and realize what a difference it made. So that's our team name, and it helps us to remember to just do the day-to-day things and not get overwhelmed. Don't freak out. That's a hashtag. I'm like, don't freak out. Since our last call, we actually had 2 weeks since our last call because of the holiday last week. So we have 2 new coaches, and neither one were able to make it. Eric's in Florida on business, and Matt, he's a music guy, which is awesome because he doesn't actually look or act like it, but Matt is a husband and a father. He's a runner. We connected via running, and we run training runs together and races together. And he's a music guy. He's in a band, and he's in choir, and loves music. Eric, he's a new coach, and he's also a runner. Do you see a trend with my friends? He loves the workouts and using them as cross training. He has always loved running, but always, wanted something else to help him. When he's traveling, and so he's been doing the workouts, and I said, hey, you know what, you'd make a natural coach. It'd be awesome for you to be able to join as a coach and help other people, because his story is that he's been able to become a better runner because of the programs. And so he's also a husband, and he works on films. That's our main connection. He works with Cameron on films. So Cameron is on a drive to help filmmakers be able to get fit and healthy and not eat all that junk food on Crafty. So we want to welcome these 2 to our team. We also have Team Force Success Club Rock Stars. And what Success Club is, for those who are new to that term, it's a milestone or a goal that we set as coaches. Basically, it is a goal to help 3 to 5 people a month be able to get fit, get healthy. And that's a goal that our team has set. To everybody in our team help 3 people. And so it's just something that if the people whose names you see here, we have Carrie and Carolyn. I got specific. Carrie will call Carrie, and Carolyn will keep Carolyn. We've got Sarah Collins, Amy Valentine, Cameron, Kimberly, Michelle Williams, and myself. We're all working really hard to reach out to our friends and say, look, you know what? We don't know if this would work out for you, but do you want to check out and see what we're doing and getting fit and healthy and being leaders in our family and our communities? So these guys are the leaders on our team. If you know and see their names and you're friends with them, make sure you give them a virtual high five on Facebook. So You guys are rocking it. This is 2 weeks. For the past 2 weeks, all these guys have hit a Success Club point or more. So I'm super proud of you guys. There's a heart down the bottom because I love you guys. You guys are just killing it. So, and here is Carolyn's announcement. It was so exciting. So I was having a stressful day, and I open up my email, and it's like, bam! Carolyn just totally made my day because she has achieved what the company calls a Success Starter month number 1. And what that means is that she hit a Success Club goal of 3 people or more in her first month. And the reason why that's kind of a tough achievement is because as a new coach, it's easy to say, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, let me kind of see, get a feel for what happens, how do I do this? Instead, Carolyn said, I became a fitness coach to help other people. Who can I help? And she went out and got the work done. So because of that, she gets an exclusive call with the CEO of the company, Carl. And let me just tell you, this man, when he speaks, like you feel the integrity and the passion he has for people. I'm very skeptical of big business people and the people who have made it. And I mean, he's a jeans and a polo shirt or a button-down plaid shirt kind of guy. And when he speaks, you get so much from him. And that's why I love working with Beachbody, because of the integrity. And if you want to talk about somebody who has been hit with failure after failure, I mean, we were talking about P90X before, but did you guys realize, like, P90X, they did 20 different versions of a P90X infomercial. It took 2 years before anybody bought the program. 2 years before one person even bought the program. So he was told over and over again, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, stop now, you're failing, you're failing, you're failing. And he is the type of person who said, I know I have something that people need, I have a dream, and I'm going to keep at it. So for 2 years, 20 different infomercials, failure after failure, he still kept pushing P90X, tweaking and changing as he went, and look what happened.
Was that
now.
the first program?
That's not, it actually wasn't the first program. They have like Kathy, oh gosh, what's her name?
Sorry.
No, Debbie Siebers. Debbie Siebers, type 2 diabetes, type 2 and you. They have a Tony Horn and a Debbie Siebers mixed video, but they were running camps for these videos. So they were going around the nation and like doing like type 2 and you boot camp sort of deal. So then P90X, it was actually the first infomercial that they tried.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't the first program that they were distributing, but it was the first check into the infomercial. And so, you know, he did that, and now look at P90X, there's a cult around it. And so after failure, spending millions of dollars and having that be wasted, I mean, last year Carl chartered a whole entire cruise line, Liberty of the Seas, which was not a small ship, for the whole entire company to go on a cruise. So talk about living out your dreams and not ever giving up. So I'm just super excited, not to focus on Carl, this is Carolyn's thing, so Carolyn
sorry.
and gets this call with Carl, and I'm just super excited to have you, Carolyn, on the team, and just I'm pushing
really excited
harder.
about this call.
Exactly, and I'm pushing harder because I know that you're there, and you know, I really love your enthusiasm, and
yeah, that's awesome, Carolyn. Congrats.
yes, we're super excited. So we've got announcements.
I'm having trouble hearing just a little bit because I think it's my phone, but I'm trying to get to my home to my computer, I promise.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll talk slowly. No.
One of my very good friends, an old college roommate, was here for like a week before you have to go back to Europe for like 4 months for work. So
yeah,
it was one night trying to get together, and I'm like, oh, we couldn't do it a little bit earlier, but I value his friendship. I've known him for over 20 years, and I really wanted to see him. So, and everybody, when I posted Mark tonight, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm getting 10 PMs from people. Do you have a date? That's so exciting for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm like, it's my old roommate. No, it's not.
It's not a date. Well, that's cool that you took the time, and again, that just shows your heart that you took the time to spend with him. So we're recording this, and then you can just like watch it over again and relive the moment with your picture. So the next slide here, the next announcement is Summit. We have some Super Saturdays coming up in September and little announcements. This is the next big thing is Summit. And we're going to Nashville. We were in Vegas, and to be honest, it was awesome, but really, really smoky and really, really just not cool as far as the environment goes. So I'm super excited that it's way more family friendly. Now, okay, so it is sold out. It's sold out in 2 days, which can be looked at as a huge bummer, or can be looked at like, wow, this company is growing and awesome because they sold 15,000 tickets to Nashville. So here's the deal though, don't freak out, again, hashtag don't freak out, because the cruise also sold out, and they ended up inviting everybody on the wait list. Everybody on the wait list got an email to attend. So what you need to do is go to CoachSummit2015.com and register and put your name on the wait list. And everybody should do that because it doesn't cost any money to put your name on the wait list. Then they will send you an email because people are putting their name on the wait list, or people bought their tickets for $99, and then they're going to look at airfare, or they're going to look at hotel, and things are going to come up and they're going to cancel. And I also have some insider tips that they didn't realize that 15,000 tickets are going to sold out as quickly as they did, and they are working on it to be able to make more available. So get your name on the list because we're all going to be there. Kevin and I have have our people working on getting 2 suites, so then we can all be in the same hotel and be able to just rock out Summit all together. So again, get your name on the wait list, $99 to go, and I apologize for you guys who are on your phones, but what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. So this is a clip of me getting called out by Sean T. And I got a personal one-on-one workout with Sean in Vegas. And I was screaming because I just finished a marathon and Sean wanted me to push harder on plyo jumps. And I was dead. And he said, "Never stop." And I said, "Okay." But Summit's just really cool because you get to have experiences like that. Sean T right in your face. And now every time I do that move, I'm going to think about that moment. You also get awesome training from top coaches on how to grow a rock-solid business. You get to take pictures with the trainers, and it's just a really good place. Cameron came back. It was his first. I wanted him here. He had to go to a meeting, but I wanted him here because he came back and he said, "I don't remember the last time I was around such a happy group of people." And their comments, because we were at the MGM Grand, and the workers there just were flabbergasted that they saw so many people with smiles on their faces standing outside at 4 a.m. to work out. So it's just a really awesome place to be. And for those of you who aren't coaches yet, even if you still aren't next year, I encourage you to go because to the website. You can go if you're not a coach. You just have to pay for a ticket to be admitted to everything. You can work out with the trainers. You can come hang out with us. You do not have to be a coach to go to Summit. So if you are a Sean T, Tony Horn, Shailene, Autumn fanatic, for $99, come hang out with us in Nashville and work out and get a photo op with your favorite trainer. It's way fun. So totally encourage that. We're going to get to the root of the call now, because at Summit, I got to hear Diana Nyads speak, and it hit me so hard. Well, let me just tell you her story is that when she was growing up, her dad was hard and not the most loving family. He was Greek, and and he pointed out to her that in the dictionary, Naiad is like a water nymph. And so he planted in her the idea that she was made to be a swimmer. And so she worked really hard and worked really hard.
Lori, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Can you hear me now? Hello?
But just everybody mute your line, and then hers won't get cut out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd love to. Tell me how.
Let's see.
Just tap your screen, Carrie, and then there should be an audio option, and you can touch that and mute it.
Can everybody hear me now? There we go. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll go back. Right here. Okay, so we have Diana Nyad, and she is going for the Olympics. She is the favorite every single year. And every single year, she barely misses. Barely misses every single year for 10 years. And I mean, she's like doing, 20 hours worth of training every day, 364 days out of the year, and then she does her trials for the Olympics, and she doesn't make it. And so this is after 10 years, and basically it's her last year. And she is walking to her lane, and she is thinking of every sacrifice that everybody has made for her to be there. She's thinking about her parents. She's thinking about her siblings. They gave her like the house to herself sort of deal, so she could like get up and work out when she needed to. They went to all sorts of different competitions for her. She's thinking about her coach. She's thinking about her friends, all the sacrifices she's made, and she is just feeling the weight of the world as she's walking to her lane for the last time for the Olympic trials. And it was actually one of the younger girls that she, is now competing against, who walks up to her and she grabs her by the shoulders and she goes, "Diana, you're in a fog. What's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm thinking of this and I'm thinking of that and I'm just feeling a lot of pressure." And the girl says, "Stop it. Stop it right now and focus on this moment." She's like, "Well, I'm trying to," and she said, "Look at your pinky fingernail." And she's like, swimmers kind of have long fingernails because it helps them paddle, and it also helps them, get the pressure plate quicker. Some athletes, swimmers even get fake nails to have it extra long. So she's like, "I didn't at that point. I didn't." And she said, "I looked at my pinky fingernail," and she said, "Look at the tip. How fast could you swim the tip length?" And she said, like 100th of a second. She's like, "No, seriously, look at the tip of your pinky finger." And she's like, "Okay, like 1,000th of a second to swim that much." And she said, this little stout girl looked her in the eye. She's looking up at her and she said, "Diana, you swim this race and you don't look at anybody else around you. You don't look at the clock. You just swim and focus on yourself. So that when you hit the finish, you can say, I could not have swam a pinky fingernail tip faster." She's like, "Okay, I can do that." So, steps up to her lane, sound goes off, and she gets in there. She's not looking at anybody else. And she's just going. She's going for it. She's like, "I swam as fast as I could, and I didn't look at anybody. Look at the clock. I just swam as fast as I could, and I hit that wall, and I made the turn, and I started coming back. I just went, and I went, and I went, and I went. I hit the finish, and I screamed, I could not do a pinky fingertip faster." So then I looked at the clock, and I came in 6th. She went back to the locker room. Because that was it. You had to get one of the top 4 positions to go on to the Olympics. 10 years worth of sacrifices. And she didn't make it. And so I went into the locker room, and I thought I was going to cry. But I didn't. I sat there, And she's a burly woman. She's like, I sat there, hunched over, and I said, well, they were just faster. She couldn't have done any more. So she said that she, even though failed for 10 years, and at that point had failed her dream, you know, the favorite news reporters, everything, and she said, I didn't feel bad. I felt good. Because out of those 10 years, that race at 6th place was my best race ever. And I was satisfied. And I finished my career knowing I could not have done a fingernail tip faster. And she said, fast forward a few years, because after that, what do? Your life is swimming and you don't make it into the Olympics. So she went on to do some coaching, and she went on to do a show and do some ESPN reporting. And she said that in one of her shows, Michael Reeves, Superman, in his wheelchair, was there to do something for one of the events, and she got to sit down and talk with him. And they started conversing and talking, and she ended up telling him this story about going to the Olympics and not doing a fingernail tip faster, and I felt good, and told him about that, and he said, so, are you still doing a fingernail tip better? She's like, what do you mean? He's like, are you still living life where you can't do a fingernail tip better? And she said, then at that very moment, they came in, and he had to go, and she said, I never got to answer him, and he ended up passing away, and she said, I still never got to answer him, but that stuck with me. I looked at my life, and I went, okay, I tried for 10 years for the Olympics, I didn't make it, but what am I doing with my life now? This is a wild, crazy roller coaster of life. You only have one shot. It's kind of crazy to think about, but you only have one shot. We kind of feel like life is long, but this is it. There is nothing else. Today, we get to live, and are you living a fingernail tip faster, better? And she said, I kind of looked at my life going, not really. So she started thinking about what else she could do and what else she could do, and she got into long distance swimming again. Go figure, she's not a sprinter. She's a marathon swimmer, which boggles my mind, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be really hard. So she started thinking about something that her mother got her thinking about when she was younger and living in Florida, and her mom would talk about all the different lands all around, and she could see Cuba, and she's like, Mom, how far is that? And her mom said, oh, it's not that far. I mean, we can see it. She said, well, how far away is it? And her mom said, well, it's close enough you could swim to it. So she realized that was another seed that her mom unknowingly placed in her heart. So she started swimming a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further, and she was looking at all these different routes because nobody has ever done a 100-mile swim. And she wanted to be the first. And she mapped it out, and Cuba to Key West is 110 miles. And she said, that is what I'm going to do. So she trained and she trained and she trained, and she went for it. And she got stung by jellyfish all over and had to stop. So she got a special suit, and she trained and trained and trained and trained and trained, and she tried it again, and she got attacked by sharks, because this is the 100-mile no shark tank sort of a safety. She's doing this as a free swim, so she had to stop. So then she tried again, and she was swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming, and there was a current that came out of nowhere, and her advisor, it was a whole team with her, they said, you know what, you are so off course, it's going to be 180 miles to get to Key West, and it's just, you cannot do that. So she had to stop. So she's got this suit for jellyfish, she's got, you know, this repellent stuff for sharks, she's figured out her courses, and she's going to go, and it's her 5th attempt And everybody thinks she's nuts because she's 63 years old. And she says, I'm going to do it because I am going to make sure that when I lay down and take my last breath is going to say, I could not have lived life a pinky fingernail tip better. So she went for it, and she did it. This is a clip of her, and she's finishing her swim. It took her 53 hours. She didn't stop. You couldn't hang on to a boat. She would fuel as she could. And she's coming up on the beach.
We should never ever give up. You're never too old to chase your dreams. It looks like a solitary sport, but it's a team. You are my inspiration.
She's got to go to the center.
Never give up. You're never too old to go after your dreams. You're never too busy. You're never too inadequate. You're never not good enough to go after the things that God has planted in your heart to go after. And it looks like it's a solitary event, life, but it's a team effort. We're all here together, and I strongly believe, and it's my faith and my belief, that we are put here on earth not only to be with our families, but specifically in the time periods that we're placed, because there are people that are also placed here at the same time who need our help, and who we need their help. And I know we hear a lot of times, do better, live a little better, be a little better, and sometimes it's really overwhelming, so I'm like, I can't do any better. There's a phrase that I like to say, and I say it often, is all you can do is all you can do. So I'm not saying to put more on your plate. I'm saying do what you can do, and do it with passion. Do it with vigor. Are you waking up in the morning excited to see what new thing is going to happen? What new person you're going to meet? What better you can do in a job that you could easily slack? Are you recognizing the small efforts of your kids? Are you giving your husband a welcome home? Or are you giving him a side glance as you try and round the kids up and prepare dinner? Live life a pinky fingernail tip the best you can do. And some days That might be that you don't get a shower, the kids barely get fed, the laundry's still on the couch. But you have given it everything you've got because you don't have another today. I don't usually get all of this emotional. Sorry for the new people. I just really felt like this was really, really important. To grasp hold of life, and really, really make sure that it's something that you enjoy. I have this slide up here, and let's see, where's my mouse? I can't even see where my mouse got to. Oh, I stopped it. Oh, sorry. Well, there you go. It says, start doing things you love. If you don't like something, change it. Open your minds, arms, and hearts to new things. Live your dream and wear your passion. And as Beachbody coaches, that's why I became a coach. Because I was living day to day, barely surviving, going to bed tired, depressed, wondering if this is all there is. I love being a mom and I love my kids, but man, oh man, I felt, is this it? I get up, I raise the kids, they leave, and then what happens? And I realized that by becoming a Beachbody coach, I was surrounding myself with people who were passionate about life, who were passionate about being fit and being healthy, and then helping others. Like, that is so fulfilling. And so I decided that I didn't like going to bed tired and depressed and feeling unfulfilled in my day. So I took a chance, I took a leap, and I became a coach. Little did I know that it was going to lead me to my dream of being able to help other people, being able to be surrounded by people with like-minded goals and aspirations, and I'm living my passion. I love fitness, I love being healthy, and I love passing that on to other people. And by doing that, I've been able to create a life where I'm spending more time with my husband. He doesn't have to go to work every day, which has been awesome this summer. It's been so cool to say, hey, you know what? Can you take a half a day? Sure. And it's been cool to have him home and be a role model for my kids, for my daughters, so they can know what kind of man they're going to look for my boy who's surrounded by us girls and have a best friend he can look to grow up and become more like his dad, because he knows what his dad is like. It's been awesome to be able to cheer and have Carolyn and Carrie and Sarah and Katie, and wow, we have a lot of K's. And now I've got some guys with Matt and Eric joining ranks with Cameron. We've got Clay. We've got all these people, and like I said, it was a struggle to see if I wanted to open up this call, because I count you guys as family, and I'm just very, very blessed and honored to be able to have this team and to check in with you guys and celebrate and motivate and be inspired by you guys. So I'm going to end this call because I don't like to take up too much time, because life is short and we have lots of things to do. Those of you who aren't coaches, if you want to learn more about what it is that we do, I'd love to hop on a call, do a three-way with you if you have any questions. Team Force, you guys are rocking it. Just keep on keeping on. There are going to be people who aren't ready to step out and make the change to better their lives, to get uncomfortable, to push play and do a T25 workout. I mean, that's not easy to ask somebody to do. So, let's just keep on finding those who are ready and helping those and being friends to those who aren't ready but still need some life and hope in their days. So if there are any questions, you guys can unmute. I'm going to stop my screen share, and you guys can unmute if there's any questions. Otherwise, we can end the call and all get to bed on the East Coast.
Bed is overrated.
Not
It's
down here.
Not really though. It's underrated.
it's underrated.
I
Yes.
know, I know.
All right. No questions? I'm gonna
No, I did, well,
Oh.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. go
Like,
ahead.
no, I guess not. I just,
Here, stop
I have,
recording.